I do want to start with what initially got you into football, and what made you decide you want to become a professional football player, and how has your family's mixed cultural background influenced your life and your journey as an NFL player now?
Okay, yeah. So I grew up playing football from a young age. It's kind of the thing to do in California, especially Southern California. It's kind of like something that everybody does. You grow up as a kid, everybody plays football and basketball and soccer. So those are like the main, and even baseball too. Everybody, pretty much every kid that I know, especially growing up, you've tried every single sport, and basketball and football were the two sports that I stuck with, and football was always my favorite even since a kid. So really ever since I was really young, starting about fourth grade when I started like playing padded football, like real football,
Mm.
that's when I fell in love with the game and knew that I wanted to go professional. And ever since then, it's been my passion and something that I wanted to do. And just growing up and where I did, I was able to grow up around a lot of different people. It wasn't just one culture. It wasn't just all African Americans. It wasn't all Filipinos. It was kind of really a mixture of everything being in Southern California. So I was able to grow up around a lot of different people. So that kind of shaped me to just really be open to every type of person there is and really learn different cultures from a young age.
Mhm. So speaking about, your passion for football, right? And since we don't have many Filipino American football players in the NFL,
Mhm.
I'm curious, was your mixed race background, being half Filipino and Black, was it ever an advantage to you or was it a disadvantage? And I mean, did you ever view yourself differently or maybe even doubted yourself?
No, never doubted myself at all. I feel like it's a more an advantage of anything. Just being able to grow up with the African American background from my dad and his family, and then my mom and a Filipino background. So really being able to be exposed to different types of cultures from a young age and different really types of upbringings. Being around my dad's side of the family and being around my mom's side of the family part of the year also, it was always fun because you get to learn a lot of different things and see really even in the sports world being able to grow up around different sports. So all of my Filipino family, they all love basketball, so when I hang out with all my cousins, we play basketball. And when I'm around my cousins on my dad's side and even my dad, we all it's all football. So being able to do multiple things as a kid and just being exposed to different things and different cultures as a kid really exposed me and really showed me, okay, I can do multiple things, and it's cool that I'm able to have both types of backgrounds and be able to merge it into one, and really created me as a person and helped me realize that there's so much out there.
Hmm. Yeah, that's really great. And I know that Filipino parents can be pretty tough on their children. So speaking about your career in football, right? Are there any Filipino values that have shaped you as a person and as an athlete? And how have they impacted your approach to your own games?
Really, the Filipino resilience and seeing how resilient people in the Philippines are, and just the Filipino heart. I feel like that's a real thing, and I didn't realize that until I started going to the Philippines once I made it to the NFL, because I grew up around my family and I just thought, okay, this is how Filipinos are. I was just thinking, okay, this is just my family. We're all everybody's nice, everybody's super hardworking, and will make anything happen from nothing. Then I get to the Philippines and I realize, okay, that's really everybody. And that's just the culture out there and the heart that us Filipinos have, and just being super resilient and making something out of nothing, and how grateful everybody is. Just really the heart of the Filipino really, I was really able to see that once I was able to go back home to the Philippines and see that, okay, it's not just my family, it's really everybody and just the culture.
Mhm.
And so I think that shaped me as a person and as a player. When I'm on the field, I really have a bigger reason to play, knowing that, okay, this is how, like, my mindset has changed, being able to do that and be able to travel, just seeing that I can really change people's lives, and seeing how resilient people are out there with and not having a lot. And I just like, get so grateful that I'm able to play a game for a living, and my main motivation now is to bring everything back to the people and to help other people. So it's really, yeah, the heart of Filipino people shaped me, huge. We just knowing that, okay, everybody's working hard and I'm blessed to have this job playing football. So I need to make the most of it.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think that, many young athletes in the Philippines now, since, you're bringing football to the Philippines, they're looking up to you as an inspiration. So besides playing in the NFL and, making us Asian Americans proud here, I see you've also, like I said, you've been bringing, it's a personal goal for you to bring the football into the Philippines. So can you tell me all about Camp Busy and how
Mhm.
did this whole project come about?
Yeah, so really this past off season, I was out there and I met some guys that play football out in the Philippines, and I started to ask them like, "Oh, wait, there's some football leagues out here," and they told me about the community out there. It's small but really strong, and they have like a flag football league and even a padded football league where they kind of build it themselves. So I was like, okay, how can we help them? Because they're helping me train, and really I made friends with them, and they ended up being some of my closest friends I have in the Philippines now. And meeting them and seeing how much football meant to them, and with the little that they have out there and the small amount of people that are playing, and seeing how much passion they have for the game, I was like, okay, how can I use my platform and my ability to help them and help grow this game, because I see how much they love it. So that's where the idea of making a camp out there came, and I was like, okay, let's bring football to this side of the world because it's not big yet, and it might be tough, but in the few years, I think we can really make it blow up. And now you see that flag football is going to the Olympics. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, we have 5 years to train all of my friends out there in the Philippines, and we're gonna try and qualify for the Olympics on the flag football team for the Philippines. So really, my heart for football out there grew just knowing how much my friends really had a real passion for it, but didn't have much. So even like when I'm in the locker room here, I'm collecting all the extra gear that people are gonna throw away. I collect it and I bring it all back when I go back there, because it's super hard for them to even like getting simple things like footballs. They have to order it from here. It takes months to get there, and not a lot of stores out there sell football stuff. So just being out there and being able to spend my whole off season last year, 6 months, or this past season, off season, 6 months living out there, and I realized, okay, people really love football out here that are exposed to it. So why not bring a whole new game to the Philippines and give kids and even a lot of adults too another outlet and another sport to be able to fall in love with.
Mhm. That's really great to hear. I had no idea we had a small football community in the Philippines.
Yeah.
I've
It's,
never once seen people playing that sport in the Philippines when I was there. Um, so with the time that you've been there, right? I know you were personally there to teach. Have you seen what kind of impact this sport has made on young athletes, who participated in your camp so far, in terms of development or teamwork or personal growth?
yeah, I've seen it grow a bunch, even with just the amount of people that are willing to try the sport out. I know, and I think next week, this week actually, there a lot of my friends, they put together a team and they're going to go play in a tournament in Malaysia. So really, they built a community and they've been able to train ever since this whole off season. And I was there to teach them a lot of things. They've been able to take that same training and start passing it around to their communities, whatever island they're on. Because even for the camp, a lot of people came from different islands, so they're able to come in, get the knowledge, and then go back to their island or their barangay and really be able to spread it out to everybody. So I've seen it grow exponentially ever since I've been there, and now they're traveling to go play tournaments, and I'm like, okay, that's a big deal. That's something that they weren't doing last year or 2 years ago, and
Mhm.
now just ever since we've been able to be there and help grow football, we've seen it grow and see a lot more people participate in it and at least give it a try. That's the only thing. I just want people to give it a try, and every single person that's tried it has ended up falling in love with it. And now they're everybody rents fields out and just calls all their friends up, and everybody's playing until they literally rent fields out from like 10 p.m. to midnight in the middle of Makati or anywhere, and just figure out a way to play football. So it's super inspiring to me. It helps me really change the way I look at football, because it makes me more grateful to be playing in NFL, because I see how much it inspires them.
That's so awesome to hear. That's so inspiring. Definitely. I want to go back there and really see students maybe even playing it for school, you know.
Yeah, you got to try
Um,
it too.
Yeah, is that something I know you were talking about the personal growth of, the sport itself and how you have friends spreading it out to different barangays, but do you have plans for it to further expand this camp to maybe, elaborate with local organizations or maybe schools in the Philippines?
Yeah, we a few of my friends out there that have been doing the league with us and really been helping with the camp. They've been able to kind of build like intramural teams like throughout the school. So I forget the exact schools. I know at LaSalle, I think what is it, De La Salle?
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, they're doing like classes. I don't know if you call it classes, but some training there and trying to get students to show up. So they've been training kids at schools and really just trying to build it through the universities out there. Because if you do it through that, then the schools can help fund it also. So they've been really doing everything, and I'm so thankful for the team of people that I have out there that's been able to help me because now they're carrying the weight when I'm back here for my football season and they're help building it while I'm gone. So as soon as I get back, it's going to be even bigger, even without me being there. So I'm just grateful that they're able to do that. But for sure, I've been trying to build it within the universities out there so they can have like a kind of like a full intramural sport team there.
that's great. I'm so excited to see this grow. But other than bringing football to the Philippines, right? I know you've done a bunch of other outreach projects as well. Can you tell me about, your inspiration behind starting your own foundation, and why do you think it's important for you to be involved in these relief efforts?
Yeah, so it all started with my wife's church out there in the Philippines, New Life Church, and they have a foundation there called New Life Community Care Foundation. And we partnered up with them originally to give back and do an outreach for typhoon victims in Leyte. So really, that sparked our whole inspiration for the to build our own foundation to continue to build on what we did with the church there. So really, it all started with helping the typhoon victims and seeing how destructive typhoons were. And us being in the States, we don't get that much
Mhm.
and we don't really hear about it much. So once I talked to my wife and just was able to go out there and see, okay, typhoons are really destructive and they happen so many times throughout the year. And over here in the States, we don't hear about that a lot. And for it to hit it was my great grandma's hometown that got hit, and that's where we were able to do our first outreach, and that kind of hit home for me. So being able to see that and start the foundation meant a lot, just because now we're able to go back and really help put communities back on their feet, and it's really created a lot of memories there. Being able to go back and would do one outreach, but it wouldn't just be a one-time thing and raise some money and give some money to people. We go back and we kind of feel like we adopted the whole community because we've been back there 3 or 4 times now and did follow up. So we really get to meet the families and build relationships with them and come back multiple times a year. And okay, you guys, this time we need to rebuild the homes. Okay, you guys now need fans because your electricity is back up. So we kind of assess their needs as we go. So it's not just us giving a one-time fix. We want to help them build all the way back to where they were before the landslide happened when all their homes got destroyed. So we have been able to see these families since the landslide happened, and they're living at the school we did the outreach in, and they're living at the school, and now they have their community rebuilt, and now we're able to rebuild that right now and give them resources for that. So really being able to see the growth in the communities from okay right after the typhoon to now a year and a half later, and they're all back in their homes again and living normal lives again. So it's been really fun, and that's really been the heart of Bynum Faith Foundation and starting it, is to be able to really be able to have a long lasting impact on communities, especially in the Philippines, from when something bad happens all the way up to when they're back on their feet. And that's the goal for us, to really help people put people back on their feet.
Thank you for that. You're definitely a blessing to the Philippines, to all these
Thanks.
people that you help. So thank you. I definitely think that, it's important for athletes as well to use their platform for good. And you're definitely doing that by creating positive change and making a difference in our Filipino community. So thank you.
Thank you.
It's been so great getting to know you and all the amazing work you do to help and uplift the Philippines. But before I do let you go, do you have any upcoming projects or events that you'd like to share with our Next Shark readers or viewers?
Yeah, we're gonna do a few. We don't have exact dates for anything yet. Out here in Minnesota during football season, for sure gonna do a Thanksgiving event and a Christmas event, and don't know the exact details, but be looking out for that. But we do plan on doing. I think we have 3 camps planned for this off season once football season's done. So we're gonna do one in Cebu, do one more in Manila, and we're planning on doing one in Japan also, just to try and build and continue to grow football in that whole side of the world. So we know the football community in Cebu is pretty big, so we're gonna take it there for the next one and kind of spread the football throughout the different islands. And that's the next biggest city after Manila. So do one in Manila, one in Cebu, and see what we can do from there. But yeah, we have a lot of stuff planned. And while we're doing the football camps, we're also going to build an outreach into that. So we get all the people that are coming there for football. We're basically going to use all the manpower that we have there to do an outreach at the same time. Because I'm like, I don't want to waste having this many people here and not affect the community also. So we're going to build an outreach into the football camp and do it a few times this coming off season. So we'll be looking forward to that in 2024.
Okay, yeah, awesome. And lastly, do you have any message for our Filipinos or Filipino Americans who, look up to you as a role model and aspire to do what you do, whether that's a career in sports or, just to be able to help those in need?
Yeah, for sure. Main thing would always be to keep God first and continue to be grateful for our lives and everything that we've been given, no matter what you have, a lot or a little, it's all a blessing. And to really continue to have that Filipino heart of working hard and really being resilient, no matter what you have in life, there's always a blessing in it. So continue to work hard and just thank everybody for supporting me and let them know that I really feel the love, and everything that I do on the field, I'm thinking of how I can help people back at home in the Philippines and even in my own community. So just know that when I'm on the field, it's bigger than me. There's a bigger purpose to all of this, and I don't want any of this fame for myself. I want to give it all back to God and to other people.